So as we build back better in Scotland, today we're going to be talking about some things that employers might want to think about as they restructure or develop their recruitment processes.
Make changes.
Yes, things that they might need to be aware of that migrants experience that might impact how they're perceived or received in the workplace. Yes. So.
It's quite an important thing to look at because, again, when you look across the board in Scotland, there is a missing link, there is a big gap. There's a bit of work to be done for people to be accepted and brought into the workplace.
Yes.
And so we hope that our discussion today will help some employers and organizations on some of the things they might look at in order to facilitate that process to go forward.
Yeah, first of all, I would like to kind of talk about the experience that we had ourselves when we had just got our paperwork, we're now allowed to work, and we're thinking, yeah, that's it, we're finally going to get a job. And we went to different places and they wouldn't accept us. Their reason that we could not work because we did not show any work experience in the 5-year gap.
And that is quite interesting because when you're in the process of getting employment, and when you're in the process of looking for jobs, or when you're in the process of even waiting for your immigration status to be sorted, we always encourage to go for volunteering.
And we do that ourselves. We encourage people to volunteer.
Exactly. So you go for these opportunities and you volunteer and you do your best and you're committed and you're a team player, all those things that that will help you in your next step.
And we did that ourselves because we started up an initiative. The project had about 10 volunteers.
That's right.
So looking at our CV, you'd have thought that, we have project management.
We've done something.
In fact, we had a very good friend who helped me put together my CV. And she said, oh, Pheona, you've done all this stuff, you have to put it there. But no, it's a different story. The moment you get that CV and take it out there. Now, one of the other things that we always miss is the recruitment agencies as well. Because when you get that CV and take it to the recruitment agencies, their systems and processes are looking at something totally different. Exactly.
So before we even go to the employer's side, there is that middle ground that we always miss. So the recruitment agencies are not aware of some of these things that are taking place.
And that brings me to a statement that one of our friends made, which, because you wait in the system, there's that waiting game, where you don't know whether you get your paperwork in a year,
how long
2 years,
16
years, even 18 years.
Sometimes 20 years.
Exactly, before you're finally allowed to work. And then when you are allowed to work, it's like all these 25 years, whatever the period of time, it's like you're in a freezer.
That's correct.
Your life is put on hold.
Because you're restricted from the things that you can do.
Exactly. You are frozen. And then suddenly you're taken out of the freezer and you're taken out to thaw. And it's like, right, where do I take it from here? And it's tough because already you've had these challenges. First of all, in cases where you are maybe undocumented, maybe you're living in a house, you're expected to pay council tax.
Where sometimes if there is no recourse to public funds as well.
So if you haven't paid that council tax, that debt is there waiting for those 5 years. So you're coming out of the 5 years with about a 5,000 debt. Okay, that's before you go
do
to
anything.
Work. And if you start work, that money is going to come off. But imagine when you go to the employer and somehow council tax is taking money off because it has to go through the system.
That's correct.
It doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to, because you are in debt, they arrest your earnings. But you can't always explain to the employer that this is what happened, and if they're a big organization and they don't understand, it looks like you're a bad person who doesn't pay your debt.
Besides that, it looks like you've come to this organization with a baggage of issues.
Exactly.
Yes.
And then on top of that, so apart from that, you then have issues such as the lack of work experience.
Yes.
You've worked back home, maybe you've been a banker, you've been a doctor,
a
maybe
teacher,
you're a lawyer, a teacher,
a plumber,
maybe you're an entrepreneur, a plumber,
whatever it might be.
You have all these skills, right? But those skills are not recognized in the system that you find yourself in.
That's right.
You are unable to show that actually these skills are of value because the system doesn't recognize them anyway. So every time you go to an employer, they say, oh, but what is your experience?
Yes.
We want your experience in the UK.
That's right.
And you have none to show, which is a bit of a challenge. I think employers need to be more aware of these things.
That's correct, I think employers need to be aware of some of those challenges that new people in the community, in Scotland, we call them the new Scots. They need to be aware of some of those challenges that people, the new Scots, face to be able to put down systems and processes that can accommodate them as well.
Yes.
Otherwise, without that awareness, it's difficult for these people to get that opportunity to come in.
That's true, because again, that reminds me of a time when we were supporting some organizations to get employment before to get people into work. And I remember one organization asking for the candidate for their leave to remain. And because they were a young adult who had joined the family, they had an indefinite leave to remain. While that seems like it's common knowledge and actually says in the word indefinite leave to remain, the organization had never really worked with migrants. So they were asking this person to produce a refugee card, but they were not refugees.
That's correct.
That's the other thing as well. People don't understand that there's undocumented migrants, which can accrue from you being here a period of time and maybe having a challenge with your immigration status. They don't. Then there's the refugee status where you've been allowed refugee and your asylum process has gone through, and then there's the asylum where you are claiming asylum still in the process. All these things happen within quite a short or very long space of time.
That's correct,
But when the employer receives these documents, what do they understand? Do they understand that that comes with a story?
But do they also understand that journey?
Yes.
Do they understand that process?
Yes.
Because again, you'll find that going back to that story, some employers don't even understand that process. They don't understand the different documents that people might have. And so if the employer doesn't understand that process and the documents, what chance have the new Scots got to get into the labor market?
So I think there needs to be a bit more education for recruiters, for employers on the journey, because somebody might come and maybe they do not speak the accent that you're expecting, but it doesn't mean they don't have the skills.
Exactly.
They might come without anything showing on the CV that you were looking for, but that doesn't mean they haven't been you're doing something.
That's right.
So there needs to be a bit more awareness and education.
There needs to be more awareness. There needs to be more interest, and we always say some of these things to work well. It's got to be intentional.
Yes.
Employers have got to be intentional to reach out to these communities. Otherwise, without being intentional, then it's another tick box exercise. And so we need to be intentional, but also look at our systems and processes in terms of employers to see how our systems and processes are accommodating people who might come in that are from different backgrounds.
And also, this is not just a thing of just human rights. This is also a thing of value.
That's right.
You know, migrants bring value. They often are very loyal to the employer. They will work hard and they will contribute if allowed to.
That's right.
So really what we're saying is, in the workplace, please educate yourself, understand the systems and processes, understand that immigration controls may not necessarily allow for what you're looking for.
And the systems and processes, especially immigration, they change all the time.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing.
Yes, they change all the time.
Yes, so it's continual education.
That's correct.
But more importantly, let us think what benefit do we get from diversity. It is not only good for us socially, it is good for us economically.
That's correct, yeah.
And so thank you very much for watching our video today. Please like and
share.
And more importantly, make sure you subscribe to our video.
That's right.
To our videos so that you can get more awareness on these topics. We are Radiant and Brighter, and we support organizations and companies that are looking to diversify their workforce. Thank you.
Thank you.